Kenya has on many occasions considered importing maize from neighboring countries like Tanzania and Uganda to bridge the production deficit. From the Galana Irrigation Scheme project, Kenya is expected to produce enough maize for local consumption and even surplus for export.
Now that Kenya has its own seed company and Kenya has its own fertilizer company that will be ready by June next year, there is no reason why we should keep Kenya waiting for rain. The answer in removing Kenya from the list of food insecure nations of the world is irrigation.
This has, however, raised concerns on how having too much maize from the Galana Irrigation Scheme may affect small-scale farmers in the country. The Ministry of Agriculture reckons it has put in place various measures to ensure small-scale farmers are not forced out of business.
Galana is not supposed to kill other farmers. Galana is supposed to supplement the other farmers, to supplement the maize production in the country. Therefore, I do not expect a major impact on any other farm.
We are also working with the farmers in those areas to encourage them to move into other products such as soya, which is doing very, very well in that area. We have also gotten onto a strategy to introduce a sim, a product that is in high demand, but which we have not been producing. We are also working with the farmers to also embrace what we call the traditional high-value crops, the cassava, the sweet potatoes.
The Galana Irrigation Scheme will, however, not be home to maize alone. Once more land is cleared and the necessary irrigation infrastructure is put in place, other crops including fruits, vegetables, sugarcane, as well as poultry, beef and dairy farming will be introduced at the scheme.
Government will only stop at putting up the dam and only the main infrastructure, doing irrigation infrastructure. However, everything else will be done by the private sector.
But even as the country wakes up to a new dawn as far as irrigation is concerned, the question would be whether the Galana project is sustainable and whether indeed such a model can be replicated in other irrigation schemes.
The whole land, including deserts in Israel, is less than all the surface area we have under fresh water in Kenya. Yet we don't know what to do with our water on our land. If you look at now like Turkana, look at Wasonyeru, look at Narok, look at even Kiambu itself, then you understand. I'm aware the Minister of Agriculture, KPCU, and the Minister of Water are doing something which is very, very commendable. They're introducing high-tech production.
The project, which is funded by both the Kenyan and the Israeli governments, is expected to benefit residents of Kilifi and Tana River counties in more ways than one.
היכולת של ישראל היא בהחלט גם ללמוד מכם, מקניה, וגם להעביר ידע בתחום החקלאות, ואכן סיכמנו.
We agreed on establishing a center here for training and capacity building in water and irrigation and other fields in agriculture to share the Israel experience where we succeeded to make the desert blooming.
And we have discussed and it has been agreed that this institute is going to be called the Kenya Israel Mashav Agricultural Training Institute. We have also, as the minister rightly said, are cooperating in other areas, not just irrigation, not just technical training, but there is the issue of opening direct flights between Kenya and Israel.
Now, when the government announced that it was going to undertake a massive irrigation project at the Galana Irrigation Scheme, 1 million acres worth, many people thought it was a pipe dream. But if the progress at the scheme is anything to go by, then Kenya may be well on its way to bridging the maize importation gap. Ruth Mutegi for Channel 1 Business at the Galana Irrigation Scheme.